Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And no startup montage this time. This matter's probably too serious, so I'm just going to go straight in. It appears that in Rikers prison in America, a transgender prisoner, let's say a man, has been serving time in the women's wing because he claimed to be a woman, although quite plainly isn't. Um, he was in for assault, and whilst he was in there, he attacked one of the female prisoners. And when I say attacked, I mean he r'd her. She was in having a shower, he came in and had his way. And this is just to go to show that all those lefty wokey wankeratis that say, oh no, no, a man who claims to be a woman is a woman and it's perfectly safe and perfectly normal. It just goes to show that they are completely and utterly filled with horseshit, because this isn't acceptable. Now, I don't care what the woman prisoner's done. She's in prison because she deserved to be in there, whatever she's done. But she's serving her time. And the prison has a duty of care. One of the duties of care is to not allow this sort of thing to happen. So I don't care what people say or what they think about transgendered people. Oh no, they are female. If they claim to be female, they're female. Yeah, that's okay. Tell this woman that she was penetrated by another woman and see the answer you get. Anyway, I'm going to put myself down. We'll look at this piece. It's appalling. I feel sorry for the woman who was attacked. I feel angry that authorities are allowing this sort of thing to go on because they're too weak-willed, spineless and jellyfish and craven and scared of the tiny 0.01% or whatever of the population that have this complete mental illness. People are going to get worse than this. Worse. Much worse than this. Because of this lobby. And it needs to change. And they need to put men who identify as women, or as we like to call them, men, into prisons with other men. Because I guarantee that this guy wouldn't be doing this if he was in a man's prison. Oh, probably quite the other way round. Taste of his own medicine, perhaps. Anyway, like I say, I'll put myself in the corner and we'll have a look here. So, as you see, here's the headline. Transgender Rikers inmate serving time in women's wing of jail for assault. Attacks female prisoner in bathroom after victim finished showering. Now, I have to be careful with the words I use because YouTube's it monitors what you say, and certain keywords mean it doesn't get pushed. The video won't get pushed, so you have to make it sort of friendly for the pushing so that we can get the story out. So I think I've said this before that sometimes I'll say words in such a way, but you'll obviously know what I mean. But I don't want the YouTube algorithm to flag up the video for sort of quiet, not pushing. So bear with me on that one. Anyway, Ramel Blount, 33, pleaded guilty on the 7th of April to the assault in a plea deal. The 33-year-old victim reported the incident to jail officials, and a kit was administered, which matched Blount's DNA in the New York State Registry. Blount received a 7-year sentence with additional 8 years of post-release supervision. A full order of protection was issued, and Blount was also required to register as a certain type of offender. Rikers Island, which is home to more than 5,000 inmates, has been plagued with, well, you can read what it's been plagued with, many, many problems, including a lot of absences of staff, probably through stress. A transgender Rikers inmate with previous arrest for assault attacked a female prisoner after she finished showering in the women's section of the violins-plagued New York City facility. Ramel Blount, 33, who goes by the name of Diamond Blount, pleaded guilty to the attack in a deal on the 7th of April, the Bronx District Attorney's Office announced on Monday. The 33-year-old victim, whose name was not released, had just finished showering when Blount approached her from behind, held her down by the back of the neck, and attacked her repeatedly at the Rose M. Singer Centre on the 8th of February 2021. The victim reported the incident to jail officials and a kit was administered which matched Mount's DNA. So just reiterating what he got. SV against anyone is unacceptable, Bronx District Attorney Darcel Clark said in a statement. Officials did not say why Blount was being housed in the female section of the facility after being arrested for a misdemeanor assault in 2018, according to reports. It's because he undoubtedly said, "Oh, I'm a girl. I want to go in the girly section because I know it's going to be easier in there than if I have to go into the men's section where they're going to beat me up every day." Because he's a coward. And then he gets in there and then he does this. But the trouble is, they will be saying, "Oh no, he was a woman. No man could have done this because there was no men in the facility." And that's the trouble you have. They talk themselves into this loop. We only house ladies. He is a lady. Therefore, there's no men in the facility. So therefore, it couldn't have happened. We've had this in the NHS, where the NHS has actually covered up this kind of thing simply because it goes against the agenda. But anyway, along with the prison sentence from the most recent plea deal, Blount was also required to register as an SO. A full order of protection was also issued. Rikers Island, which houses more than 5,000 inmates, have been plagued with escalating V, detainee Ds, and widespread staff absences. Last week, Mayor Eric Adams pleaded with New Yorkers on helping him to fix the troubled prison. "Give me a chance," he said. "We have witnessed how others have failed. Now give me a chance. Let's work together." His appeal came the day after Manhattan U.S. Attorney Damien Williams made the threat in a letter to a federal judge requesting the Department of Correction be taken over by an independent body if the agency doesn't improve conditions at the city-run jail. Earlier this year, Adams had appointed Luis Molina as the new Department of Corrections Commissioner to help fix the beleaguered jail complex. Molina, who's only been in his position a few months, described the crisis taking place at Rikers as a systemic failure. Well, it's like anything. Anything run by an administration that is struggling for money is always going to fail, especially when it's completely overrun because the system forces more and more people into jail for smaller and smaller crimes. And this is the problem that you have. This is nothing to do with anything other than the American legal system has this inbuilt go-to, which is jail, 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 all the time. Not always appropriate. I mean, often is. I'm not decrying that, but unless you're prepared to put the money in to make the jails fit for purpose, you're always going to have problems. And one of the problems you're going to have is staff absence because of the stress levels. Once you get staff absence, you can't monitor the inmates, and then this kind of attack will happen. But anyway, continuing with this, Molina, the guy was saying, "It was glaringly obvious to me something as simple as search operations were not being conducted by the prior administration, and we've ramped that up to address issues like the contraband weapons that are in the facility. More than 1,000 have been removed or recovered since the start of his tenure," the DOC said. In 2016, 16 people had passed in the DOC's custody. The numbers are higher compared to 2019 and 20 combined, and the most since 2016. The DOC has reported 3 Ds this year so far. So what you've got here, and this is just one example, is official, administrative, deliberate blindsight. They know he's a man, and they know he has a tendency to violins because of his charge. But because he claims that he's now a lady, they're going to put him in with the women. I bet there was no psychiatric evaluation done. I bet there was no testing. I bet it was just taking its word, yeah, okay, you're a woman, put him in with the women. And then this happens. Who's to blame? Well, ultimately, the people who run the jail. ultimately it's them. So that female inmate needs to sue the smithereens out of the Department of Corrections. And I hope she does. And if she's on, if she's in there for, I'm going to say, a minor crime, I think she should be released, have a big payoff, and go on her merry way, and hopefully never see the inside of a jail again. If she's in for something serious, well, okay, you've got to do your time for that one, love. But you can still sue them. Anyway, I'm going to come up and we'll, I'll round this off, but I want to round this off with a couple of observations. We have seen on many occasions where, due to official agendas, the cancellation of women being the main part of this, that any old man can just simply claim to be a woman and must be treated as a woman from that point forward. We've seen this with the police in Britain, where a male officer can simply claim to be a woman and he's then entitled immediately to strip search women. We've had NHS hospitals where women have been attacked in a, we're talking about the R. And then the NHS have told the police it could not have happened because there are no men on a woman's only ward. Turned out that not only was there a man on the woman's ward, but he was the one doing the actual R. But the NHS lied to the police, obstructed justice, because of the agenda. You have the Minister of Sport, who has quite blatantly come out and said she does not want to legislate against women not being beaten up by men on a field of sport. This is where we are. Now, don't think that this case in Rikers Island, as America, is going to be unique, because there are men in women's prisons in Britain, and I am sure in women's prisons all over the world. Well, all over the Western world, anyway. I doubt there'd be so many in third world countries, Middle East, Far East, places like that, because I haven't got time for the crap that's being dealt out by these people. But here we are, we're getting women attacked, hard. I think it'll soon be emmed because of the trans lobby and their push that men with mental illnesses should be treated as women. And I think it's wrong. I think it needs to stop. And I think it does need legislation. It does need government ministers to stand up, heave out a good healthy pair and act. And I'm sure most people who watch this video would agree. Anyway, thank you for watching the video if you got this far. I would ask that if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you may consider doing so. And you could ring the bell for future notifications. Leave a comment, leave a like. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and goodbye.